I'm Nathan from Medina Lake. I wanted to take a second, actually, Matt, and I wanted to take a second and talk to you guys a little bit about the artwork for Addicts to Eden and how it kind of came to be. It's a long story, but I'll try and hone it down. Basically, we were working on the music for Addicts. We were in Chicago at our rehearsal spot, and I was just text messaging with an old friend of mine from high school, and somehow we got on the topic of artwork and stuff, and we were going back and forth, and I was telling her that there's this collection called Dr. Seuss's Secret Art that I'm crazy about. It's super cool, and it turns out she had one, and I was like super blown away because they're thousands and thousands of dollars, and I didn't know she was rich as hell at this point anyways. But long story short, she referred me to this other artist she was super down with named Victor Linden, and he's like a new up-and-coming guy in the art field, and she said she just bought one of his paintings for like $20,000 or something, referred me to his website. I went and checked it out. It's SaintVictorDiaries.com. And I was blown away by the artwork. And so I just spent hours on his site checking it out and reading about all of his paintings and everything else, and just like felt this connection to it. Like I just adored it. So on a whim and an absolute long shot, I emailed him from the contact thing on his site, and I was like, hey, what's up, this is Nathan, I'm playing a band called Medina Lake. I told him all about it, about the band, about our concepts, about the first record, and that we're working on a second record, and we have the storyline together, and blah, blah, blah. So I really didn't expect anything from it, and literally the next day, he emailed me back. Apparently he was already aware of the band, and was like super into the whole concept and everything. So we just started talking, and I was like, if there's any way you'd be interested in working on this project with us, Addicts to Eden, it would be amazing. We certainly don't have $20,000 or anything to pay you for it. And he loved the idea, and he was super cool. So we basically just started talking about everything from philosophies, life experiences, his career path, our career path, what we believe in. We sent him all the song titles and lyrics to the new record that we worked on at that point. We sent him the story, the first section of the story, and the new one we've been working on, Scorched Earth, and everything else, and basically gave him a bunch of ideas of what we thought Addicts to Eden, represented and everything else. And we went back and forth, and he decided that he actually, as a side note, he's not a musician per se, but he's an artist, and he had this music kicking around in his head, but didn't really know how to translate it. He was able to pick some notes off of a keyboard and write some lyrics and stuff, and he basically asked us to bring his song that was in his head to life in exchange for him doing our artwork. So a complete barter, no money transacted whatsoever. And I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, like just two artists collaborating on two projects, basically us covering or bringing to life his song and him bringing to life the artwork for our record. So that's kind of how it came to be. I guess Matthew's going to get into a little more depth of what the significance of the actual literal artwork is from our perspective and his. So
about halfway into his creation of this piece of art, he sent us this sketch of it, and to show us like the kind of path that he was on, and it's absolutely beautiful. We knew that he was going to nail it. One of the first things that Vic connected to, I think, is our character Adelia, who's like sort of the center point of the story that we're telling, over these three records. The character resonated with him, which is cool because that's kind of how we designed this character so that everybody could identify with her. So anyways, what he did with the artwork was he wanted to make her a prominent feature of it, and also encapsulate all of the philosophies and like the meaning of the album title, which is Addicts to Eden, obviously. So basically he created this backdrop with Adelia right on the foreground, and it represents Adelia being in the cosmos. She's the perfect spiritual being, but she doesn't recognize that her nature is like that. So she's sent down to the earthly plane to experience, the human condition, life on earth for its bitterness and its sweetness, and all aspects of life. So She's wearing aviator glasses. The aviator glasses signify that she's on a journey of discovery. The top half of her, she's wearing this golden blouse and it's beautiful. Everything's beautiful and picturesque and stunning and couldn't be better. And that's her true. That represents her true essence of who she is. And the lower half, she's dressed like a prostitute, and that signifies a sort of bitter struggle, this sort of despair that she experienced on Earth, that sort of vibe. And she's holding a balloon, and she's presenting a balloon to a little robot. The balloon represents sort of consciousness. So she's bringing consciousness from the cosmos down to this earthly plane, and she's handing it to a little robot. And the little robot represents like the instinctively programmed mechanical survival mechanisms that human beings have. So she's in essence, bringing her true beauty and essence down to this earthly plane. And there's birds, when she presents the balloon of consciousness to the robot, these little birds go flying out, essentially indicating, the sort of freedom from the human condition. And there's 2 birds left inside, and they are in the shape of a heart. So she's basically bringing, love and spirit to this earthly plane. So, that ties into the album title, Addicts to Eden, because it's about discovering your own path to your personal utopia. And those are the issues and subject matter that Nathan deals with in the lyrics, and it's extremely relevant to the story. So it was cool. We really collaborated, like Nathan was saying earlier, with this other artist, and we got into each other's, pieces of work. We made the song that he was extremely happy with, and he made this artwork, with all of the ideas we presented together. So it was cool. It's like this symbiotic relationship. We came together, and the result is 2 pieces of brand new art that were not here before. So we're extremely happy about it.
Ancients, I believe them all, of hell and the fall, and how the sun's not bound.